If you scroll through your social media this week and see absolutely nothing, if your TikTok, Douyin, or Instagram Reels algorithms don't show you intense, dramatic clips, if the name Park Si-woo isn't being spammed in your friend group chats, well, you might actually be living under a rock. The Korean BL drama The Prosecutor's Proposal is causing a massive earthquake across Asia right now, from online forums in China and subbing communities in Vietnam to high school group chats in Southeast Asia. Everyone is losing their minds over the fast-paced thriller plot. People are arguing non-stop about the toxic hate-to-love relationship between the main characters. And most of all, everyone is obsessed with the insane visuals and incredible acting of Park Si-woo as investigator Lee Ki-ha. Those glowing, music-synchronized fan edits highlighting his sharp jawline are hitting millions of views. If you walk down the school hallway during recess right now, you will see groups of friends huddled together. They are all staring at their phone screens, hyping up the latest episodes. The show is so hot that if you don't watch it, you are instantly left out of the conversation. I am just a student grinding through the stressful school life here in Singapore. I am not missing out on this trend either. I save those Park Si-woo edits on my phone. I wait anxiously for new episodes to drop every week. But something weird happens when I turn off my phone screen to sleep. When the intense theme song stops and my bedroom in the HDB flat goes completely quiet, the thing that stays in my head isn't the mystery or the romance. It is a completely different feeling. It feels heavy and a bit sad. The thing that haunts me is the look in Lee Ki-ha's eyes, played by Park Si-woo. It is a look full of suffocation and exhaustion. He is holding back his pain, forcing himself to stay strong so he doesn't collapse. That look feels so familiar. It looks exactly like my own face in the mirror every single morning, right when I wake up after an all-nighter, putting on my neat school uniform before heading out. My channel has never been about reviewing movies. I am not here to talk about the camera angles or guess who the real killer is. Movie bloggers can handle that. What I want to do today through this podcast is unpack something deeper. Why does a dark, heavy crime show make students our age feel so connected? Why does a story from Korea touch the exact emotions of kids studying in Singapore, Vietnam, or China, behind the media hype of a trending show? Park Si-woo's struggle on screen is like a giant magnifying glass. It shines a light directly on our hidden pressures. It exposes the raw fears and emotional stress that every 15 to 18-year-old is secretly carrying behind their backpacks every single day. There is a specific scene of Park Si-woo in the show that made me pause and think for a long time. It is when his character, Lee Ki-ha, is cornered. He carries a massive scar. He is the son of a murderer. In the prosecutor's office, his boss bosses him around. His co-workers look at him with suspicion and cold eyes to isolate him. Inside, Ki-ha is definitely facing a massive storm of shame and unfairness. But look at him. Every time he walks into the office, his suit is perfectly ironed without a single wrinkle. He stands tall. He reports his work in a cold, precise voice without making a single mistake. Ki-ha is not allowed to cry. He is not allowed to be weak. Because he knows very well that if he shows even a tiny bit of weakness or tiredness, the world outside will instantly crush him. He has to push himself to the absolute limit just to protect his dignity. Looking at Lee Ki-ha, I suddenly see us, teenagers at the age of 15. 17, luckily we don't have a dark family past to hide, but the truth is, we are wearing other masks that are just as heavy. It's the label of a top school student, the title of a good kid, the phrase the pride and future of the family. School competition here in Singapore is never a joke. Every morning we wake up at 6 o'clock when it's still dark outside. We put on our neat uniforms. We walk through the school gates looking as bright as possible. We are programmed to always be excellent. We always have to move forward on the ranking board. None of us dare to stop and rest, and none of us have the courage to admit to the world, I am totally exhausted. Every time we get a bad grade, every time we feel suffocated by thick folders of O-level or A-level prep papers, we choose to stay silent. We swallow our tears, then tomorrow we go back to class with a calm face, acting like nothing happened. We are playing the role of future successful kids. Perfect citizens? It is exactly how Park Si-woo's character forces himself to play the perfect investigator on screen. That I'm okay mask is truly draining our emotions every single day. Why is the prosecutor's proposal so captivating and dramatic? It is because of the toxic, painful, and suffocating relationship between the two main characters. One is the victim's son who holds all the power and judgment. The other is the murderer's son who always has to back down and live with the guilt passed down from the older generation. They are tied together by an invisible, painful rope that they cannot cut. In real life, we don't have blood feuds. We don't experience crazy drama like on TV shows. But the sad truth is, many of us are carrying a different kind of debt. It is an invisible debt, but it is heavier and harder to repay than anything else in the world. It is the debt of gratitude for our parents' sacrifices. Think about it seriously. In Asian societies, and especially in a hyper-realistic place like Singapore, parents' investment in their kids is a massive pressure. Some nights coming home late from tuition, you see your parents' exhausted faces after a long day of overtime work. Some days you see expensive tuition bills from famous prep centers that your parents saved up to pay. Our parents never ask for cash back. They always say, "We work hard and suffer all for you. You just need to study well and make us proud." But those words of love accidentally become a death sentence hanging over our heads. Their sacrifice is too big. It's so big that we lose our right to fail. Every time we bring home a bad grade, the first feeling isn't sadness for ourselves. It is a suffocating wave of fear and guilt. We look at ourselves like criminals, selfish kids destroying our family's hard work, money, and expectations. The relationship between us and our parents' expectations can get tense, suffocating, and distant, just like the enemies on screen. We love our parents deeply. But we are also terrified of that very love and sacrifice. Audiences across Asia are rushing to watch this show. What are they waiting for in the next episodes? Everyone wants to see Park Si-woo's character fight back. They want investigator Lee Ki-ha to crack the case himself, to find the truth and wipe away his father's stain. He wants the world to see him for who he is based on his own skills. He doesn't want to be a ghost under the shadow and control of an adult's past. And this is the biggest reason why this character touches young hearts so deeply. At our age, from 15 to 18, we are going through a similar hidden battle. It is the battle to find our identity, the battle to win the right to be ourselves, not a copy of anyone else. We are standing at the biggest turning point of our lives. We are preparing to choose our majors, our jobs, and our universities, but let's be honest and brave for a second. How many goals that you stay up all night for? Drinking coffee like water every day actually come from your own passion, or are they safe boxes built by adults' expectations, becoming a doctor, an engineer, or a banker to have a stable life and honor the family name? Many times sitting alone studying, I feel completely lost and terrified. I am scared to realize that I am living a borrowed life. I am burning my youth to fulfill my parents' unfinished dreams, not my own. This is the battle of growing up. How do we make adults stop for a minute and listen to who we really are and what we want? How do we get recognized for our skills and interests? Not as a product programmed to satisfy the older generation's ambition. Just like Lee Ki-ha on screen, we are struggling every day to win back our own name and our own life. The drama, The Prosecutor's Proposal, will eventually reach its final episode. The massive hype around Park Si-woo on the trending charts will slowly cool down over time, making way for new shows to pop up. That is just how social media and internet algorithms work, but the truth is, the hidden struggles, the invisible pressures, and the suffocating feelings of being 17 will not disappear that easily. Those heavy emotions will stay right here, quietly living every night under the roofs of HDB flats in Singapore. Or in study rooms where the lights stay on at 2 a.m. in Saigon, Hanoi, or Beijing, for a student facing major exams that could change my whole life. This hit show is actually a perfect excuse. Park Si-woo's exhausted yet unbroken acting on screen works just like a sharp mirror. It gives us a rare chance. A precious quiet moment to look directly at our emotional wounds, the heartbreaking frustrations that we usually avoid or pretend not to see just to keep moving forward. We understand that constantly forcing yourself to be a perfect child, a standard product of family expectations, is a deeply tiring and lonely journey. However, realizing this does not mean we are turning our backs on our parents or ignoring their sweat and massive sacrifices. Real maturity is when we learn to understand the fears and anxieties of the older generation too. We are deeply grateful for the solid foundation our parents worked so hard to give us. But at the same time, we must be brave enough and strong enough to fight for and keep a small, independent corner for our own identity. We need to be allowed to make mistakes so we can learn to stand up on our own. We need to live our own lives, making choices that we decide and take responsibility for, instead of living out someone else's unfulfilled dreams. Have you ever stayed up late studying, looked out the window at the city lights, and asked yourself what you are actually racing for? Have you ever felt totally drained but couldn't talk to anyone because you were scared of looking weak? If you are also wearing a mask that is way too heavy. If you are pushing yourself every day just like Lee Ki-ha on screen, please don't keep that pain to yourself. Let your guard down and leave some of your thoughts in the comments section of this podcast. We are here to listen to you, to be a friend on this ride. And to let you know that at least on this suffocating path of growing up, you are not alone. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my podcast today. I'll catch you guys in the next stories and perspectives. For now, close your books, turn off your laptop, and get a really good night's sleep. Bye, guys.